Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be talking about a low pressure system that'll be moving across parts of the Northern Plains. In moving into the Great Lakes, it will bring in a winter storm across parts of Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and also upper Michigan. The system will also bring in some severe weather across parts really anywhere from the Texas Arcana region up into parts of the Lower Ohio Valley region. We also have a lot of wind to deal with the system here as well. Plus, there's going to be many more systems after that. We got a possible winter storm for parts of the Northeast, and then another possibly significant system here that'll move from the four quarter states, and this could become a major system, possibly another winter storm, and a severe weather event as well for next weekend. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. Before I get started, though, if you guys do like weather-related content, you can always subscribe to my channel. I do this stuff all the time. You can always look at my previous videos as well to see that I'm not joking. I do this stuff all the time. But let's go ahead and get started with the watch warning map here. And what we got going on? We got winter storm warnings for parts of northeastern Montana, the northern half of North Dakota and Minnesota, far northern of Wisconsin, and upper Michigan. We got wind advisories and high wind warnings across parts of Montana, Wyoming, even to the higher elevations into Idaho and Colorado, parts of Nebraska, then the entire state of South Dakota, and for parts of North Dakota as well. So there's going to be a lot of wind with the system here, but not just in this region though. Parts of the Northeast, the Ohio Valley, even for parts of the Midwest will also experience a lot of wind as well out of this first system. And we'll talk about the winter side of things really quick here. Actually, let's kind of go back here because there's one thing I want to mention here that there is one little blizzard warning in the far northeastern part of Minnesota. We're also going to experience quite a bit of snow out there as well. We're going to have some lake effect snow action mixed in as winds kind of come from the southeast. Most of the time it's coming from the northwest, but this time it's actually coming from the southeast. Temperatures will be cold enough to see some snow, even though you got winds coming from the southeast, which is going to be pretty interesting for them folks up there. They don't typically see, at least not very often, they see something like that occur. But here's the snowfall forecast from the National Reserve's offices here. And where you get into those purple colors, that's 6+ inches of snow. So this ain't like maybe 4 or 6 inches of snow. We're talking about snowfall amounts that could be getting close to the foot mark. And those will be isolated areas across parts of the upper Michigan area and also where we have that blizzard warning. Those places could also see around a foot of snow and maybe a little bit more than that as well. We actually can get a closer look into some of those regions as well. So this is looking to the Midwest. You can see here with those purple colors there, that's kind of gets to the 10 to 12 inches mark. And then again with those purple colors, that's at least 6 inches of snow. And these blue colors could be anywhere from 1 inch to maybe as high as 4 inches of snow as well. Here's the north central U.S. and you can see here again parts of the far northeastern part of Minnesota. They're actually forecasting up to 16 inches of snow, which is a lot of snow up there, certainly. And then you got this big swath of 6 to 8 inches of snow across northern North Dakota and also for northern Minnesota as well. So enjoy while you can up here because there's not going to be a whole lot of snow in the forecast after that. So certainly going to be a pretty good snowfall event for some of those snow lovers that live up there as well. So enjoy it while you can because there's not going to be a whole lot more snow in the forecast after this system. All right, so let's go on ahead and talk about the severe weather side of things. This is for the rest of today. We're not expecting any severe weather. Could be some thunder across parts of the south. But things change tomorrow. We got slight risk for severe weather across parts of western Tennessee, northwestern Mississippi, the southern half of Arkansas, even to the Texas Arcana region. You got a marginal risk that also includes places like Houston, Nashville, Louisville, Shreveport, and also Pasadena, Texas as well. And we do have a tornado threat out there as well. We actually have a 5% chance of seeing a tornado in a 25-mile radius of any given point. And that's a decent probability for tornadoes in reality. It really is, at least by SPC standards. That's a pretty decent probability for tornadoes. But most of these here will be weak. We're really talking about QLCS tornadoes, which, in other words, squall line tornadoes. So I don't think this will be a major day or anything, but this is a pretty large risk zone here that could see maybe a quick spin up tornado or two. Damage winds would be the primary threat. There could be some hail back into parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Missouri as well. And here's day 3, which is Monday. We got a marginal risk for parts of Texas, Louisiana, and even for parts of Mississippi as well. And that's also a low wind risk for severe weather as well. But let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the bigger day. Now, keep in mind, the main window for severe weather is going to be Sunday night into Monday morning. That's going to be the main window. So all this is going to be happening overnight. So this is your HRRR model here. You can see here, at around this time here, this is 4Z. So this is maybe about 1 a.m. or 12 a.m., either in Central or in Eastern time. You do see here there is some cells that develop into parts of Kentucky. Then again, there's going to be a lot of wind shear with this environment here, so we may need to watch some of those storms that may try to have a little spin with it. But the main batch of storms is developing back into parts of southern Missouri. Those will congeal into a line of storms. You can sort of see here you got scattered cells that continue to move across parts of Kentucky. Then again, those may have the potential to have a little spin with it as well. But even areas out there, though, there's not much instability to work with, so the tornado risk is going to be low. But the main window for severe weather is going to be from this line of storms here, which you can kind of see here how it really gets organized here as the night goes on. And now we're getting into Monday morning. And Monday morning, we got a cluster of showers of thunderstorms really from Dayton, Ohio, all the way back down past Fort Smith, Arkansas as well. So we got a big line of some showers and storms in the east here could contain damage winds. And along the line here, maybe a quick spin of tornado or two. Uh, the limiting factor with this setup here will be instability. There won't be a whole lot out there. And now this is kind of getting to like 8 o'clock in the morning here. You got a pretty good line of storms here from parts of northern Kentucky here. We may have to pay attention to those as well. Those could contain damage winds within those as well. And you can see here, and then they start to weaken as the day goes on, where there's not much of instability to work with afterwards. And I'll show you guys what I mean here. So this is then again a HRRR model. By the way, it will be windy. Even without showers and thunderstorms, it will be windy. And you can see what the HRRR model's got to say here, just out ahead of these lines with showers of storms. You got wind gusts that's spitting out 45 to 50 miles per hour. I think at max it's going to be 30 to 40. We could see 45, but that'll be isolated. As well, these models here have backed off the winds, which is a good thing. Um, but either way, still got some strong winds here coming out of the south as well. And but the instability though, you can see here, really all you really need for severe weather is over 1,000 joules per kilogram. But with an environment like this where there's so much wind shear, it won't take a whole lot to get strong storms going. So I would say maybe around 500 joules per kilogram, even 400, will be at least somewhat sufficient for some stronger storms. But then again, there's not going to be a whole lot of instability in this environment here. You'll see here about the helicity values, which is wind shear, in other words. And you can see there's plenty out there. It's going to be your typical low cape, high wind shear environment with this here. We'll check out the high-res name here, and you can see here, pretty similar to the HRRR model here. You got scattered cells developing out ahead of the main line of storms. And you can see here how these line of storms are pretty organized there, and those could contain damage winds with those as well. And you can see here how it dies down throughout the day on Monday. And then again, like I said, there's not going to be a whole lot of instability out there. This is going to be surface-based cape from the high-res name. We'll also check out the surface composite as well. And you can see here, there's not a whole lot out there. And there is going to be some, maybe for parts of Arkansas, maybe getting into southeastern Missouri. Those areas may have a better opportunity to see some stronger storm activity. But as we kind of go deeper into the night, those instability values will go down. So then again, not a whole lot of instability to work with out there. Actually, let's check out those significant tornado parameters. And just by looking at significant tornado parameters, usually we'll say if you got a 1, you have a tornado threat. Over a 2 is significant tornado territory. But even below 1, it's a low chance. It's a very low chance, but it's a non-zero. And you'll see what I mean here when we check out those significant tornado parameters. You can see here again, with those blue shades there, that's at least a 1. So a little better tornado threat in these areas in here. But in the gray colors, it's a low chance, but it's not 0. We'll put it that way. You can see here, it's over a pretty large area as well. We'll get a couple soundings out here. This is in southwestern Kentucky. And then again, not a whole lot of instability to work with. What over 500, that'd be favorable for some stronger storms. But with all this wind shear out here, storm listed numbers will be way up there. And there's going to be good hodographs out there as well. And also to kind of support this, it's actually got decent downdraft cape and also some decent lap rates as well. So that'll kind of help with that strong to severe storm threat as well. But we kind of get to these areas here that have a 1, like in Severn, Illinois, for example. There's a little better instability out there as well. You're a little closer to 1,000 out there. Wind shear is not as high, but still pretty sufficient for severe weather as well. And you can see here as we kind of get closer to Monday morning, you still have that very low risk for a spin-up tornado or 2 in these areas right here. But eventually, those numbers do go away as we kind of get deeper into the morning hours on Monday. And it does show possibly a low end tornado risk down to parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, back into southeastern Texas as well. So then again, it's not really a big risk for severe weather or anything, but it's not 0 chance. So yeah, that's what we're going to be kind of seeing here um, as well. And then again, that low of a jet is going to be pretty strong out there. If we check out the low of a jet there, this is going to be 4 o'clock on Monday. And you can see here, the winds are going to be pretty strong here. Yeah, you got winds over getting close to 75 miles per hour in some places. So you got a pretty strong low of a jet. Here's European model, similar, same way with the GFS, strong low of a jet. So we'll definitely have that in place. But the winds at the surface will be a little bit gusty. And the models have backed it off just a little bit with those winds, which is good news there. Here's a European model for wind gusts. It's actually really backed off those wind gusts for the European model, but the highest as usual is the highest NAM, which I think this could be overdone as well. So then again, talk about 35, 40 miles an hour, could get to close to 45 miles per hour in some places. So then again, it's gonna be pretty windy morning for them folks. But that same lines with showers and storms will continue to move on to the east. Now, dew point values will be pretty low here at around that point. You can see here as we check out the highest NAM. It's actually got some snowflakes behind that. Check that out. Some snowflakes. You get severe weather around 7 a.m. and then you get snowflakes at 2 p.m. That's pretty insane there for a change. You can see here how that roundness of showers kind of move through, and those will be pretty gusty as well. With some of these models here, it looks like they certainly backed off those wind gusts, which is certainly a good thing. But either way, it's going to be pretty windy for the folks in the Ohio Valley, Northeast, almost about everywhere, really, from that. All right, so that's system number 1 out of the way. You'll see here from the European model, there goes my system number 1. Seems like it's backed off the pressure a little bit. For one of the things, that probably explains why the wind gusts at the surface is backed off, because the pressure the low, it's a little bit weaker than some of its previous runs, which is certainly a good thing. But here comes system number 2 in the middle of next week. This is going to be an interesting system here to watch And there's going to get a lot of uncertainty here with the system here. There'll be two different pieces of energy. There'll be one up here, and there'll be another one down here. If the timing is just right here, you could see a bigger storm system. Which in this case here, it seems like the time may be a little bit off from at least looking at the European model. It's been a little bit consistent with this for the past couple of runs here, but it still shows a decent wave of some snow. So either way, I think we're going to see snow for the Northeast. We're just not sure of how much you guys are going to see here from that system. We'll check out the GFS ball here, which has been pretty aggressive here, but it's also been pretty consistent with this as well. As you can see here, the GFS shows a much stronger system here. It's also shifted further to the southeast as well, so your rain and snow line is also further to the southeast as well. But then again, it's really going to depend on if those two pieces of energy can kind of come together as well. And you can see here how it continues to move off to the northeast. Here's the Canadian model here, and it's a little bit more like the European model here. So then again, a lot of uncertainty here with this system here, but either way, I think most of the Northeast can see snow out of this event, even back to as far southwest as parts of Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. I think we could certainly see some snow. We're just not sure how much snow you guys could see, but there's a possibility we could see a snowstorm out of this. It's possible anyway. Alright, let's talk about the big system here. So next weekend, this has certainly caught my attention here with this system right here. And it's been getting into a better agreement here as kind of the days go on here. So this is the European model, and this had a crazier run for 0Z, but it's a little bit similar to the previous run here. This is the 12Z run here. And you do see it, there is some snow on the back side here with the system here. But you do have a pretty warm southwesterly wind in here. We got pretty good dew points out ahead of this storm. So there's going to be a pretty good moisture supply. But as we kind of get to Saturday evening, we got a 994 millibar low in northeastern Arkansas. We got a line of some strong to possibly severe thunderstorms through western Tennessee, Mississippi, and even back into parts of Louisiana. And then again, on the backside of the system here, there could be some snow. And you can see here how the system here deepens as it continues to move on to the northeast. And then your severe weather risk expands a little bit further to the north, getting up to parts of Tennessee, Kentucky. And again, those dew points will be pretty elevated as well. And you can see here it continues to move on to the northeast as well. It also tries to hint on that maybe another low may try to develop along that front as well. That's something else we're going to need to watch for as well. If we check out the GFS model here, there goes one system right here. It's a little bit different here. Actually, it may not be that different here. If we kind of back this up a little bit. Actually, it looks like it's the same system here. So I guess you could say that's system number 3. And then system number 4 comes in behind it. And if this is correct, you got a 996 millibar low over Kentucky. And this is then again Saturday evening here, so right around the same time frame. So there's a pretty good agreement with this already. And you know the GFS is usually progressive with its systems. And it's got a band of some pretty heavy rain across parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi. You know, if this is correct, that could be a nasty, significant rainfall event. And wherever I checked it out for rainfall in 24 hours, you got rainfall amounts up to 5 inches of rain. That's a stupid amount of rain there. But look what happens here. If the cold air comes in just in time here, I mean, you got a very healthy moisture supply with this storm here. And check that out. Heavy snow on the backside there. I mean, that'd be a crazy pattern change here for parts of Kentucky, Tennessee. You go from a significant flooding event to heavy snow in one day. It's pretty insane, right? And then again, this will likely change here, but then again, if the GF is correct, you're talking about a combination of a significant rainfall event, winter storm, and severe weather for Dixie Alley. If it's correct, that's a big if. Then again, models are still been consistent here that we're going to see a big storm system at around this time period. And here we go. Here's the Canadian model. It also shows a big storm system as well. Not as strong as what some of the other models show, but it also develops a low pressure system along that front as well. And on the back side there is some snow as well. So, and again, it's something to watch here. It certainly is here, but either way, it looks like we're going to have a pretty big storm system late next week. But then again, there's still some uncertainty here with the system here. Here's the Gfs Ensembles here on the latest 18Z run. And this is the mean superset composite. And really, I will pay attention to the areas in the green and the yellow for any strong to severe storm potential here for the system here. And again, this is a mean of 20 members here. So really anybody in this green zone here. And this is for, let's see if we can move this thing here out of the way. This is Saturday afternoon. And this is a pretty large area here that could see severe weather on Saturday of next, well, I should say next Saturday of next weekend. So certainly system we got to pay attention to. If we check out the mean here, 500 millibar winds, and you can see here, they do show a trough here in those same areas as well. So then again, pretty impressive agreement here. I gotta say here, certainly a pretty impressive agreement here. We'll kind of go a little, we can go to the system here in a little bit more detail. If we go back to the European model, we'll go to 500 millibar winds. This is where you see your troughs and your ridges. You can see at around this time here, you got that big trough that moves into the northeast as well. And as we kind of go out throughout the week here, here's your next system right there for the middle of next week. And you see here, there could be two pieces of energy here. There'll be one down here. There's another one up there as well. And then again, at the time it could be just right here, you could see a big storm system up there. There goes system number 3. Here comes system number 4. This is going to be a pretty deep trough for the western United States. It certainly will be. You can kind of see here how the system here really starts to get going. You got a very deep trough here across the western United States. You got a southeast ridge over parts of the southeast as well. And this is a pretty good setup here for severe weather already. Southeast ridge, trough to the west, pretty classic setup here for some trouble here, mainly severe weather, even for flooding events as well. If we kind of move on to Saturday here, you're talking about a bowling ball of a system here. I mean, that's pretty insane there. You got a bowling ball of a system here. If we go down to the low of a jet here at 850 millibars, you got a strong low of a jet across parts of Dixie Alley up into parts of the Ohio Valley. This is your temperatures here. If we check out at the surface, well above normal temperatures out there. You got 70s up to parts of Kentucky. Those are well above normal temperatures. I mean, the average temperatures for this time of year in the upper 40s. You got temperatures in the low 70s. That's at least 30 degrees above normal, at least right around there. So well above normal temperatures. As you go further to the south here, mid 70s. Here's your dew points. You got dew points in the deep in the 60s, all the way up into southern Indiana and Ohio. So we don't see very often here. You even got close to 60 dew points as far northeast as Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So there's going to be plenty of moisture to work with this system. If we check out the GFS model here, which has the low, situated a little further to the southeast, but it's still got pretty good 60 dew points as far north as kind of the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. If we go to 8 o'clock, you can see here it kind of expands into parts of eastern Kentucky, getting close to Ohio and West Virginia. If we kind of go back here and check out that low of a jet, pretty strong low of a jet out there. This is your 500 millibar winds. And you can see here we got a bowling ball of a system here going on here. And then here's instability values, and yeah, there could be some instability to work with out there. That's the GFS. European models not as impressed here with the instability values, but either way, This is certainly a severe weather setup here, or at least this could be severe weather setup, I should rather say. Here's the wind gusts at the surface, and yeah, for as strong as low is, yeah, there could certainly be some gusty winds at the surface as well. So certainly a very interesting system here we gotta watch for. And we could check out those rainfall totals, and you can see here with that significant flooding event I was talking about, rainfall for the next 10 days, it's got at least 5 inches of rain up to parts of Kentucky. So, sort of stuff we gotta watch here as well here over the next several days here. If the trends here get a little bit better, or the agreement will get better, I should rather say, we could see a 15% slight risk issued by the SPC. We'll have to see here where the trends kind of go next here, but either way, looks like we could see a big system next weekend. But anyway, guys, this is our review guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, like this video, hit that like button. If you do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you've got some questions about this, put in the comment section down below. I answer you guys questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.